Imagine the scene. A smoky arena, the air thick with tension and cheap beer. In one corner, a legend. 15 years undefeated. A champion carved from granite with a smirk that could curdle milk. He's a walking monument to victory, sponsored by every brand that matters, loved by every fan in the building. In the other corner, a nobody. A kid from the streets. No name, no sponsors, no fans. Just a pair of worn-out gloves and a fire in his eyes that nobody bothered to notice. When the rookie walked out, the crowd didn't cheer. They laughed. They pointed. He was small, wiry, visibly trembling under the harsh lights. He looked like a lamb being led to slaughter. The commentators were already writing his obituary, predicting a first-round knockout. A sacrificial lamb, one of them chuckled. But if you looked closely, past the shaking hands and the nervous sweat, you'd see it. In his eyes. It wasn't fear. It was focus. A deep, chilling calm that didn't belong on the face of a kid about to be demolished. The bell rang, and the fight began exactly as everyone expected. The legend was a maestro, and the ring was his orchestra. He danced, he weaved, he played with the rookie. A light jab here, a teasing hook there. Each punch was a lesson, a painful reminder of the gulf between them. The rookie stumbled, he staggered. The legend's punches felt like bricks, each one designed to not just hurt, but to humiliate. The crowd roared with every landed blow, their laughter echoing the champion's own arrogance. He was putting on a show, toying with his food before the inevitable feast. But the rookie just kept moving. He absorbed the punishment, his face swelling, a cut opening over his eye. Yet, he kept his guard up. He was learning. With every punch he took, he was mapping the legend's rhythm, studying his timing, dissecting his every move. It was a brutal, painful education, but he was a dedicated student. The laughter in the arena began to soften. By the end of round 2, it was gone, replaced by a low, curious murmur. This kid wasn't falling. He was enduring. Round 3. The legend started to get annoyed. The joke wasn't funny anymore. The rookie was still there, still standing, his eyes still burning with that same unnerving focus. The champion decided to end it. He started throwing with real power, trying to force the knockout. The crowd was on its feet now, a wave of anticipation washing over them. They could feel the shift. The game was over. This was a real fight. Round 4. The rookie was a different fighter. He wasn't just defending anymore, he was starting to anticipate. He'd slip a jab, duck under a hook. He was using the legend's own patterns against him. The champion, so used to controlling the pace, was getting frustrated. He was swinging wider, becoming more predictable. The look of amusement had vanished from his face, replaced by a mask of grim determination. The kid wasn't just surviving, he was adapting. He was evolving, right there in the middle of the ring. The fight wore on. Round 5, 6, 7. The arena was electric, the air crackling with an energy no one had expected. It was no longer a spectacle. It was a war of attrition. The legend was still landing the heavier shots, but the rookie was landing more. Quick, stinging counters that were slowly, methodically chipping away at the champion's stamina, and, more importantly, his confidence. The crowd wasn't cheering for a legend anymore. They were witnessing the impossible. They were starting to believe. Then came round 10. Both fighters were battered, exhausted, running on pure will. The legend, for the first time in 15 years, looked mortal. He was breathing heavily, his movements a fraction of a second slower. He lunged forward, throwing a desperate, powerful haymaker, trying to summon the ghost of his former glory for one final, decisive blow. And that's when it happened. The mistake. In his haste, his arrogance, he overextended. For one single, fleeting moment, his guard dropped. A tiny gap, a sliver of an opening that only a fighter who had spent 10 rounds studying his every breath would see. The rookie saw it. It wasn't a wild swing. It wasn't a prayer. It was a perfectly timed, perfectly executed right hook. Everything he had, everything he'd learned in those brutal rounds, was poured into that one punch. The sound cracked through the arena like a gunshot. Boom. Time stood still. The legend's eyes went vacant. His body, which had seemed invincible moments before, folded. He collapsed to the mat, not like a fighter taking a knee, but like a building being demolished. The silence that followed was deafening, a collective gasp of thousands of people witnessing history turn on its axis. Shock, disbelief. The referee started the count, but it was just a formality. The king was dethroned. The rookie didn't raise his gloves in triumph. He didn't scream or beat his chest. He stood there, breathing heavily, watching the fallen giant. He walked over to the corner, and as the referee waved the fight over, he leaned down and whispered something to the man who had just taught him the hardest lesson of his life. "You taught me well." That night, in that smoky arena, a nobody became somebody. A name that was once unknown was suddenly on everyone's lips. The legend had fallen, and a new one was born. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's the kind of story that reminds us that with enough heart and grit, anything is possible. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another story. Until next time.